Hi everybody, how are you? I hope you're all doing well today. The last time we were together, we talked about gratitude or thankfulness, and I challenged you guys to make gratitude journals, and I have been receiving from your moms pictures of you doing your journals and that you're doing it with your families, and that is just so fun. And I'm excited about that. So I'm going to share some things with you from my journal, but right now I want you to meet somebody else in my family who has also decided to do a gratitude journal, and I just want you to meet him. So this is my son, Luke. He's going to talk to you for just a second.
Hey guys, so I didn't actually have a journal, so I made this little journal here with some paper, as you can see. And so here are some things that I wrote yesterday. You can see it right here. So I'm grateful for coffee. I drink lots of that every single day. It's one of my favorite drinks, so definitely grateful for coffee. And I'm grateful for my friend Claude, who lives in Africa. And I actually went to Africa a few years ago, and I met him on my trip there, and we still talk usually a couple times a week. Online to each other, so definitely grateful for him. And then I also said that I'm grateful for music because I just really love listening to all different kinds of music. So those are the three things that I'm grateful for.
Thanks, Luke. Okay, bye. Okay, so Luke, as he said, went to Africa, and he's been on some other great adventures, and I was thinking maybe someday you might want to hear about those, so let me know. If you want to hear about his adventures, I bet that he would be happy to share those with us. So, okay, my gratitude journal. So I decided to go with this one right here because I had it already. And I started like this gratitude journal and the date that I started it. And I told you guys some things I was thankful for in my other video, but I'll just read them to you real quickly, and then I will tell you what I added on here, okay? I said I'm grateful for my children, my family. I'm grateful for God's love. I'm grateful for my doggies. And I've heard some of you really want to see them, so I will be working on that. I'm also thankful for music. I love it. I'm thankful for the beauty of nature. I'm thankful for books. I told you about the cheese fries. I'm serious about those. And also the vanilla frozen yogurt. Really, really good. Okay, so those are the ones I did from last time. Here's what I have added. I added that I am grateful for this time that we've been given to slow down our lives and refocus on what's most important. And I wonder something. I think in our lives, we have so many opportunities to do amazing things and fun things. We do sports and we do music and we do theater and we do a lot of things. And I think sometimes it can almost be too much, even though they're all good things. Sometimes when you add up everything that we do, it's just so much. Do you guys ever feel that you run from one thing to another, and even though you like the things, you just kind of get tired and wish you had some time off? I do. And I think as moms and dads, we want to offer these amazing things to our children, and we want them to have all of life's experiences. And sometimes it's possible that we offer too many at once. So what I mean when I say that is I am really thankful for this time right now, that we are at our homes and we're not going to school, that we are able to just slow down and breathe and be with our family, and just everything can be at just a slower pace. So that's one thing I'm grateful for. I am grateful for the evidence of spring. We started noticing this, my class and I, on our campus because during the winter, we're looking at a lot of these trees and plants that have lost all their leaves, and they just kind of, they're just sticks and branches. And they're amazing, but they're not quite as beautiful as they are in the spring and summer, in our opinion. But we were walking along a couple weeks ago, or maybe it was a week and a half ago, I can't quite remember. And one particular tree that we had been watching that had just been sticks, we came around the corner and boom, there were these beautiful pink blossoms on there. And they're so, so pretty. And each day on campus, we noticed things coming to life around us. We walked by some plants that also looked just like sticks. And we could see at the very tip of them, they were not green yet, but we could see these little buds. And we watched them. And as we walked by, do you remember? My class who's watching right now, do you remember? We saw them and they were little green green buds on the very end, and we can see spring coming out everywhere. So that's really fun for me. I love all the colors of spring. I love that spring is new life. It's just really, really fun. And the last one I added was, oh yeah, that I am thankful for rain because it's made everything green. So I'm wondering what you guys are putting in your gratitude journals. Some of you might like that to be just private for you. That's totally fine. And maybe you want to share it. And if you want to put it in the comments on here, your mom can help you, or you might just want to, share it with your family. But I'm excited about this, and I think that being grateful is going to help us just in our everyday life. So glad we did that together. So today we're going to talk about something different. Today I want to talk to you about kindness. Now, kindness is one of my favorite things in life. I love when people are kind to each other. And I'm sad, actually, when people aren't kind to each other. So kindness is really, really neat. Now, I know we hear a lot about kindness, right? You hear it from your moms and dads and your grandparents and your teachers and all these different people. Yes, 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 we need to be kind, right? Well, I wonder if you've ever actually stopped and thought about kindness and really, really thought about it. So I looked up kindness in the dictionary. And here's what it says. It says that kindness is the quality of being friendly, generous, and considerate. Kindness is the quality of being friendly, generous, and considerate. Okay, so I thought we'd just look at each of those words. I love words. I don't know if you guys love words as much as I do, but I love them. In my class and others who know about suffixes, any of you who know about suffixes might know that kindness has a suffix ness, and ness means the quality of. So it's a quality of being kind. Specifically, that's the quality of being friendly. So let's talk about that first. When we talk about being friendly, friendly means like a friend. Okay? So I want you to think for a second about being a good friend. When you are a good friend, what are the kind of things that you do? I'm going to let you think for a second. Okay, so I think some of the things you do when you're a friend is you share well with your friends. Sharing is friendly. You listen well. Maybe when something good happens to your friend, you are happy along with them. Okay? Those are things that show that you're a friend. Now here's a question. Can you only be friendly to a friend? No. Friendly actually means like a friend. So there could be someone I've never met before, and maybe they help put groceries in my bag for me, and I can be friendly to them. I can be kind to them. Okay? So remember, kindness, you have to be friendly first. You also have to be generous. Do you know what generous means? Generous means ready to give more than what is necessary or expected. Think about that. Ready to give more than what is necessary or expected. So I was thinking about that, and there's some things that we're just expected to do in life, okay? We are expected to do chores. Now, I don't know if you do them at your school. We do chores at our school, and that's an expectation to do a chore, okay? At your house, you do chores. Maybe you don't call them chores. People have different words for them. Maybe you do jobs. Maybe you do work. Maybe it's your way of helping the family, but I'm going to say chores, okay? But that's what I mean. Something you do at your house that you are required to do, okay? We're expected to do that. So if your mom asks you to clean your room, and you do it, is that being generous? Generous means giving more than what's expected, okay? So if it's expected, your mom says go clean your room and you do it, you're being obedient and you're doing a good thing, and I'm positive you're doing it with an excellent attitude, and that's sort of what's expected of you, okay? Here's another thing. How about your mom asks you to help carry the groceries in? And you are polite and say, yes, ma'am. And you go out and you take those groceries, you take them inside. Have you been generous? Well, technically, generous is giving more than what is necessary or expected. So you were obedient, you were kind, you were respectful, but generous is more than what's expected, okay? How about the way you respond to your authority? So if you're at home, your authority is your mom and dad. Maybe it's your grandparents. Maybe it's an aunt and uncle. When you're at school, your authority is your teacher or When you're at church, maybe you're a Sunday school teacher or wherever you are. Whoever's in charge of you, that's your authority, okay? So if your authority tells you to do something and you respond respectfully, excellent job. That's really good. Is that generous? According to the definition, more than what is necessary or expected. You're expected to be respectful. So I think you're doing a good thing and you're being obedient. But those really aren't examples of being generous or doing more. So let's think about it. Let's go back to the room situation, okay? Let's say you're asked to clean your room. You clean it with an excellent attitude right away. You have been obedient. And you notice that your sister next door is still cleaning her room. What if you go in there and you say, may I please help you put away your Barbies? Or may I please help you put away your Legos? And she says yes, and you help her finish that room. Is that generous? Yes, that is generous because you've already done what's asked of you. You've done what's expected, but you did more than what was asked or expected of you, right? That would be great. That would be an example of being generous. How about if your mother's asking you to take in the groceries and you do it, just like we talked about, you're obedient, you're pleasant, you're respectful. Excellent job. Okay. And then on top of that, you say, hey, Mom, I will help you put these groceries away. Or maybe your mom likes to put the groceries away herself. Maybe you could say, Mom, I will play with my little brother while you put the groceries away so you can focus on just one thing. That would be being generous because you're doing more than was even asked of you, okay? What was the last one I told you? Oh, respect. Okay, so let's say your dad says, please clear the table after dinner. And you do. You clear the table and you take it in. But in addition, you offer to clean all the countertops. Is that being generous? Yes, it is. Do you get it? So it's not just what you've been expected to do. That would be obedience, okay? But being generous is doing more than what you're asked or expected to do. Okay, so part of being kind is being a friend, okay? So you have to be friendly and you have to be generous to be kind, all right? And then there's a third thing. And the third thing is being considerate. What in the world is considerate? Have you heard of it before? I bet you have. So being considerate is showing careful thought. Think about that. Showing careful thought. So I was trying to think of an example of this, and I'm thinking, what if your mom asked you to set the table for dinner? And let's say you don't really actually want to do that. You have other things you want to do. And you know that you have to obey, so you go and do it. But let's pretend you do it with not a very good attitude, okay? You don't want to be doing it. So so you drop the fork down and you kind of plop down the knife and spoon. You don't really care where they are on the table. You fling a napkin across the table. You know what I'm saying? Are you actually getting the task done? Yes. But are you doing it in a considerate way? Are you showing careful thought? No, you're not, okay? And I would say in that moment too, check your attitude. But let's say you go in and you take the fork and you set it down nicely and you imagine the width of a plate and you leave the space for that. And then you put a knife with the blade facing the right way and the spoon right next to it and you do it in a careful way. Is that showing careful thought? Yes, it is. And why in the world would you do that? Does the fork care? No. Does the knife care? No. Who cares? The people sitting at that table. So when you are setting the table with careful thought, you're doing it for the people who are going to be sitting there. So you're showing honor to them. That is really, really great, okay? Or one more example, let's say of being considerate. Let's say you're in the front yard and you're playing and you run in and you know there's an awesome snack waiting and you're gonna go play Legos in your room. You're super excited. So you run in the front door and you throw your jacket off, your shoes get kicked off everywhere. I don't know, socks are flying and you run in and you grab your snack and you run to your room, okay? Now I know you're excited, but is that showing careful thought to the people who keep your house in order? I don't really think so. Okay, so what would be better? What would be showing careful thought? That you're so excited, don't lose your excitement, come running in and just know, oh, I can't wait for that snack. I'm gonna hang my coat up really quickly. I'm gonna push my shoes out of the way, put them where we're expected to put them so that, people don't trip and people don't have to clean up after you. And then you run and get your snack and your Legos. that is showing careful thought. Okay, that's being considerate. So here's the thing. To be kind, it didn't say be friendly or be generous or be considerate. It actually said the quality of being friendly, generous, and considerate. So think about that, okay? Think about being kind and how you could do that. Here's an example of kindness. Let's say you're at school and you are on the way to the playground to recess and you are so excited and you walk in that line like you're supposed to walk in that line, and you hit that point where you're able to run and you take off because you know if you get to that ball basket first, you're going to get the best soccer ball. You know the one I'm talking about. It's all the way pumped up. It's the right size. It's the one your grade really likes. Okay, so you are just running and a classmate falls next to you. And you stop and you help them up and you make sure that they're okay. All right? And then you start running and you get there and all the balls are gone. Was that showing kindness? Yes, that was showing kindness. And I promise you the person who fell is so thankful to you. But it's not easy, is it? It's not easy. And I want you to remember that sometimes kindness is sacrificial. Sometimes kindness makes us put ourselves second. Okay? How about at your house? We're going to be at our houses a lot, you guys. So let's say you are kind of older and you have this little sister and she's maybe 3. And, you know, she plays baby games and she plays, you know, things that you're not really interested in, and she loves to play with you. And let's say she is coming around, she wants you to go play one of her baby games with her. You do not want anything to do with that. You want to go in your room, be alone, do your art. And she's following you everywhere and she's saying your name over and over and over. Has that ever happened to you? I remember that. Okay. Let's just say instead of doing what you want to do, you just stop for a second. You turn around and you get down and look in those little eyes and you say, let's play. And you go and you play with her for just a few minutes. Okay. And you play the game that you don't even like. Is that being kind? Yeah, that's being kind. And do you know how much difference that makes to that little 3-year-old who thinks you're a superhero? That's pretty amazing. Okay, and they will remember those kind of things. So kindness is not always easy. Kindness sometimes goes against everything we're feeling or wanting or thinking or desiring, but it honors the people in our lives, and that is really, really important. Okay, now when you have a hard time with kindness, I just want you to remember this, and everyone has told you this your whole life, your teachers, your mom, your family, everybody. How do you want to be treated? Okay, and sometimes we heard it so much that we just sort of don't even think about it anymore. But think about it. How would you want to be treated? What if you were 3 and you wanted to play the best game you've ever thought of? That's a 3-year-old game, and you think your sister or brother is just a big superhero. Wouldn't you want them to play with you? Yes. So just stop and play with them. It will just mean the world to them, okay? So even when it's hard, I want you to pause and think about that. And then do the thing that's good. And do the thing that's right. And do the thing that's kind, okay? So here's the thing. As we leave here, I'm going to give you a challenge. Another challenge. I want you to keep going in your gratitude journals because that's really good for us. I'm going to keep going. My kids are going to keep going. I think Madeline's going to talk to you next time, my daughter. But here's a challenge. I want you to stop and think about ways you can show kindness to your family members. And I mean really stop and think. Maybe you could even ask your mom, hey mom, would there be a time today when I could just have alone time? Go somewhere where it's quiet, maybe your room. And I want you just to sit and think. Think of each person in your family. How could I be kind to these people? Okay, I want you to think about that, and then I want you to do it. Do the kindness. Now let me ask you a question. Do we show kindness to people so that we get something back? No. Kindness is supposed to be shown because you're just being kind. It's loving people. It's honoring people. So when you go and you do something kind for your mother, and then a few minutes later she says, honey, will you please clean your room? We are not going to say something crazy like this. I was just kind to you. Why do I have to clean my room? I know you would never do that. That would be crazy. We're not going to do that. You are going to be kind just because it's the right thing to do. Okay, so that's your challenge. Think about ways you can be kind and do them. This is for people in your family, okay? Now, there's kind of a second challenge. I just want you to keep kindness in your mind, because you don't always have time to think before being kind. Sometimes you have situations that just pop up, and if you've been practicing the thoughts of kindness in your mind, you will be able to react to something in that moment in kindness, okay? So I want you to think about that. So that's it. That's all I've got for today. I hope you have a wonderful day. Be lovely to your families. Have a fun time, and I will talk to you soon.